What is up? Thank you for coming to my channel, Prison POB. Shout out to the members of the channel. Okay, we took a little dip here. We took a hit. We went from 93 to 82, but we're not tripping. We can take a hit, we can take a dip, and we do not trip. However, if it'd gone down to 0, I'd be catching a major complex, homeboy. But we can do 93 to 82. That's fine. Shout out to the members. I love them with all my heart. Shout out to the Point of View crew. And of course, I would not want to forget about Big Happy Collective, the best collective in Bakersfield, California. If you don't believe me, go in there and look for yourself, homeboy. 4701 Stein Road. If you're getting your trees from anywhere else in Bakersfield, you're straight tripping. Go in there and get a load of their dab bomb, homeboy. A free dab hit with every purchase. Go get some. Hey, so let's just kick it off. Let's get it. Let's go. Wait a minute. Not so fast. Yikes, Splinter. I need to work on punctuation. Do you know that there's actually punctuation you can be using while you're talking? Right there, I could have used a comma. Because I'd like comma in the form of maybe like a space, a pause, as it were. One little update for you. You know how my eye was all tore up from the floor up, was it not? I mean, I was straight up. Dog, hey, it's better now because I went to the urgent care and I got some amoxicillin, which is a very strong antibiotic for bacterial infection, not virus. So look, I've been taking it, bro. Boom, eye back to normal. I still have a handful of those amoxicillins left. What I want to do, this is where I'm looking for some advice. I want to start giving them to my dog Sugar. Sugar has had like an ear thing for some time. A couple of months ago, I got some money together, $300, and took her to the vet. Told the vet, my dog has like an ear thing, here's $300. They're like, $800. I'm like, dang, for dog ear infection, so what, I got to come up with another 5? No, I got to come up with another 8. So you're charging me $300 to let me know I have to give you 8 to fix the dog's ears. So I mean, okay, like I guess, see you later. I'll be back when we can. Homeboy, let's go, Sugar. I'm gonna $800, bro. So I tried washing them, cleaning them, doing the best I can. She needs antibiotics. What if I start giving her mine? Now, my amoxicillin are 875 milligrams. I was thinking about breaking them up in force, giving her just 200 milligrams twice a day. So one of my pills can last her for 2 whole days. And so, dude, I was short myself to take care of my dog. Even in my eye went back like, dang, I should have took all the amoxicillin. Look, my eyes all messed up again. But Sugar's ears are all, bro, beautiful. I prefer Sugar to be healthy other than myself. So let me know if I can start giving Sugar some of my amoxicillins. Home bizzle. And with that being said, let's just kick it off and let's go. Hey, homeboy. 3 Peckerwoods from Oildale, California, back in the early 2000s, started a Peckerwood gang, bro, that blew up with a quickness. The gang was a blue team, and this is their gang sign. And before you know it, homeboy, half of the Bakersfield Woods and Wasco Reception were running around talking about, blue team go! What's up, blue team fool? Where you at? Now I'm going to explain the gang sign. Blue team is BT. BT is 220. This is 222. This would be the 20, homeboy. So this is 220 for blue team BT, but it's also, it makes a napkin. How blue team came to be started over just a fancy restaurant napkin, homeboy. It started off as a joke. The gang blue team started off as a joke. Not a joke like, oh, that's a joke. You're a joke. That ain't about shit. Straight joke. No, a joke as in just clowning around, just joking. Hey, blue team, homeboy. And it caught on. And I believe the reason why it caught on with a quickness, like I said, is because the 3 founding members, there might be 1 or 2 more, but there's 3 main founding members, were very charismatic, homeboy, and influential. So I'm going to tell you how the gang blue team started off. Let's get it, let's go. So like I said, you had 3 Oildale Peckerwoods. Translation, 3 white dudes from Bakersfield. Dude, a Peckerwood is a wood. I'm a white dude. A wood. A Peckerwood is a white dude, bro. PFL, Peckerwood for life. Peckerwood is just a straight up white dude. You can go up to any white dude in prison and say, what's up, Wood? And they'll answer you. Peckerwood is not a gang. Unless you go like PFL, Peckerwood for life. Now that's a gang. Or OPW, Oildale Peckerwood. Or ESP, Eastside Peckerwood. Or even Paramount Stoners. Those are Peckerwoods, homeboy. It's a Peckerwood gang. Dude, 3 Oildale Peckerwoods, homeboy. 3 white dudes from Bakersfield. Now, Oildale is in Bakersfield. But they like to say Oildale. Because those who live there are just so proud of the place. They want to represent. They'd rather say, hey, I'm from Oildale. When Oildale is just a neighborhood in Bakersfield, brother. So you have 3 Peckerwoods from Oildale. Or 3 white dudes from Bakersfield. Call it what you want. And they're out there kicking up some serious dust. They're doing exactly what we're all doing at that time. Criming, homeboy. Getting ours. In and out of prison. When you're in, you can't wait to get out. When you're out, it seems like you're working your way in because you're out there just criming and stealing and kicking up dust. And now those 3 dudes who I mentioned, Casey, Brian, and Daniel, mostly were into stealing cars. And they were a 3-man team, and they were good buddies, homeboy. And they're in Oildale, and they're kicking up dust. One day, those 3 dudes go by a restaurant. And they see some boxes out front. Casey, Brian, and Daniel see some boxes out in front of a restaurant. And so they steal them. Of course they do. Now, I've heard stories that said they broke into the restaurant, took the boxes. I've heard stories that said, no, they just drove by the restaurant, the boxes were out front. Dude, either or. However you want to word it. The fact is, those 3 woods came up on these boxes that were meant for a restaurant. So they take them into their possession, they open them up, and they're probably thinking, what's going to be in here, bro? Is it going to be, I mean, it's a fancy restaurant. Is it going to be decor? Is it going to be maybe some silverware? Some nice spices? I mean, what do we have in these boxes meant to go to this restaurant, homeboy? Sue just got home. Heard the dogs? Flipping out. Sue's not even here, homeboy. A cat walked by in front of the house and my dog's just straight flipped out. I like that, though. That's what they're trained to do. Hunt Chucky's. You would flip out, too. Wouldn't you, puppy? Dude, one thing about Chucky real quick, and we'll get on with the story. He won't let me cut his nails, dude. He's 3 years old. I love him with all my heart. This is my Chuckers. I love him. Look at his nails, dude. He's showing me his teeth right now. Look at that. He's growling at me. He will not let me cut him. Dude, they're getting long and strong. They're starting to hook. Good thing we don't have carpet. He's getting snagged up, bro. But every time I come at him with the fingernail clippers, he bows up and wants to fight. He considers it big disrespect. I'm like, dude, no, it's just a little grooming. I just need to take care of these nails. He's like, rrr. He's not having it. Dude, I have no idea how I'm going to cut those nails, bro. Sometimes I see him chewing on himself. Like, he's like, don't trip, I got this. I mean, I'm sure that's what wolves do in the wild, but he's not a wolf. He's not in the wild. He's my little Chuckers. We got to cut your nails, homeboy. Love you. Okay, so Casey, Brian, and Daniel find these 3 boxes at a restaurant. Take them into their possession. They go wherever they go, and they open them up, and they're full of napkins. Fancy dinner napkins. Blue, fancy dinner napkins. It's a very nice, fancy restaurant, homeboy. These are very nice, fancy dinner napkins, but they're not worth shit. Just blue, fancy napkins. So they end up folding them up like bandanas and putting them in their pocket and being like, blue team, homeboy, blue team, go. They're blue team because they got these blue dinner napkins, homeboy. Blue team. And then they did the BT, the 220, the napkin. I'm sure all that came later. At the time when they found the napkins, those 3, and they're like, blue team, they had no idea they were starting a gang. I mean, I don't think anybody does. I don't think when you start out a gang, when you and your homeboys click up and start something, you're not like, hey, let's take over the world. No, it's just a couple homeboys kicking back and hanging out, bro. And it ends up growing because there's a lot of character in that group or whatever the case may be. But they had no intention of starting a gang. It's just 3 homeboys in Oildale clowning around with their napkins, dinner napkins, blue team. But they're so charismatic and so influential, it started a movement. It wasn't long before people were following after him saying, blue team. Now I'm going to talk about these 3 guys before I get into other parts of the blue team story, homeboy. I'm going to touch on the 3 founding members because I know them all 3 very well. I failed to mention purposely that not only did these 3 dudes start blue team, but there was a 4th person, a female. She was actually one of the founding members. But I don't know her. I've never spoken to her. So I don't feel comfortable bringing her into the story and mentioning her name. I don't know her like that. But just trust and believe that there's a 4th person, a female, who is involved in starting off blue team as well. So anyway, the first dude is Casey. I would consider him like the leader of blue team, if there is such a thing. I would consider him like the president, and the other dude's like vice president, sergeant arms, just right behind him. I mean, just like he's like a cut hair in front of him, homeboy. Just a quarter of an inch, brother. And I'm basing that on nothing. I just feel like Casey's just a little bit edged him out as far as leaders. I could be totally wrong. Casey's a cool dude, homeboy. I met him my first time. The first time ever I was in county jail. Maybe the second time. And it was also his first or second time being in county jail. And let me just put it like this. He ended up experiencing a growth spurt later on in life. Just a year or two later on in regards to his coolness. Because when I first met Casey on the farm, the Mel Minimum, Kern County Jail, when I met him, he wasn't all that cool, bro. It was like the first time he ever been in jail, maybe the second. Not that cool of a dude, but neither was I. I don't think anybody that goes into jail for the first or second time is cool. Especially California jail, and they got all these politics, bro, that are designed to, A, help you, yes, but also trip you up if you're not careful, homeboy. I mean, dude, you got to get in there and maneuver the minefield. And before you know it, you might, boom, set off a booby trap. And then they're all going to look at you and say, we're coming for you. And you go, why? And they go, politics. And you go, oh. So your first time in jail, you're just kind of like, where am I? What's going on? You're just trying to figure out what the heck to do and how to do it and the politics. Ain't stabbed nobody yet. Ain't been in a riot yet. Ain't put in no work. Just now starting off, bro. The coolness will come later. So Casey wasn't all that cool, bro. Just like me. Kind of a couple, I don't want to say dorks, bro, but hey, dog, just a couple little first-termers. Not even a first-termer. They consider someone going to prison for the first time a dork, kind of. And they'll label them a first-termer, and that's not a compliment. Someone going to prison for their first time and walks to reception, you'll get the title, oh, that dude's a first-termer. Because you don't really know what the fizzuck is up, bro. That's not even prison. I'm talking about first time in county jail, bro. You don't know shit. So anyway, Casey and I were there. First time in county jail. We're kicking it, homeboy. And they had this thing. Oh, no, let me tell you this first. He had a big-ass bump by his ear. A huge bump, dude. Gargantuous. And I used to be like, damn, bro, that's like a gnarly-looking bump, brother. And so he's like, hey, it was like a cyst or a boil. Huge. You couldn't miss it. It was there. They had these thing called FedCap kicks. Federal capacity kicks. They'd have like one every day. Because, you know, the feds say you can only have 992 inmates on the farm. So when they have 992, then more inmates coming in. We're at federal capacity. Let's do a kick. They'll get people out of there. Dude, I got sentenced to 120 days, and I only did 34 one time. So I got the Fed Cap kick, homeboy. So I'm hanging out with Casey on the farm. He's like, hey, Splinter, I think I'm going to get the Fed Cap kick today. He goes, if I do, come by my barracks. I'll give you all my store. I just went to the store. I got coffee and cookies and candy bars. And I got a couple brand new shirts for visiting. I'll hook you up. All my stuff is yours, bro, if I get this Fed Cap kick. I'm like, cool, bro. He's in barracks 1. I'm in barracks 8. Sure enough, a couple hours later, a Fed Cap kick. Fed Cap kick. Casey, he was on it. So when the yard opened up, I went running down to his barracks. Hey, did Casey leave me anything? I'm Splinter. There should be a bag of some stores, some nice shirts. They're like, no, he didn't leave you nothing. I'm like, what? He said he was going to leave me all his stuff. They're like, nah. You know what? He might have left it to me, though. He might have been like, give this a Splinter. And they're like, sure, no problem. I thought, Splinter. Who is Splinter? That's a possibility. Or he might have just been like, heard his name. Casey, time to go. And he was grabbing shit, throw it up in the air. Let's go. When you hear your name for release, dude, you're just thinking about hitting the gate. You're not thinking about, oh, I got to give this guy a soup, this guy a cookie, this. No, bro. Out! So, bro, no freaking love lost, and I didn't get his stuff, homeboy. I ended up seeing him a year or two later. He put on 25 pounds of muscle, and that whole freaking cyst, boil, big old bump was gone. And I said, hey, brother, how'd you get rid of that thing? He said, I drank a pint of Kessler, or a fifth of Kessler, whatever the case, a cup of Kessler, and I cut it out. And I was like, yikey, shnikey. That's right, Wood. Get yours, homeboy. I couldn't even imagine cutting it out myself. I mean, I'd imagine if I had something like that, I'd want it gone. I don't think I can cut it out myself. Dude, back my first term, I put beads in my pecker. Very popular thing at the time. I took a toothbrush, sharpened it down to a filetto, stabbed my pecker, and put in some rosary beads. I had 2 beads on top. I drew the conclusion, I was under the assumption girls are going to love it. Girls are going to be like, yeah, that feels great. Give me them beads. Let's do this. As it turns out, they hated them. Couldn't stand them. I get with G, and she's like, no, those things got to go. One night I was going to cut them out myself. I'm like, okay, I'm going to cut them out. And I thought, nah, I'll make a doctor appointment, bro. Good thing I did, because when I went to the doctor, and he put me up on the table, and he started going to work, and he cut it open, the first bead came out fine. You figure they've been in there 20 years, dude. The second bead would not come out. I mean, he is struggling, and he's tugging, he's sweating. The whole bed's rocking back and forth. I'm holding on for dear life, and he's just, bro, he's breaking out hammers and all kinds of gardening tools, and she's like, what in the physic you doing, bro? And he struggled to get that last bead out. Can you imagine if it was me? If I'd cut up myself, and I'm struggling for that bead, and there's blood everywhere, and blood makes everything slippery. Dude, I would have called 911. Help! Ambulance, give me, ah! It'd have been scary as physic, dog. Say, so Casey, cut that out, dog. You get yours, homeboy. Another one of the founding members is a dude named Brian. Now, I know Brian more than I know the other guys. I know Brian really well. I've done time with him on county jail. I've been with him in prison, Wasco reception. He was there when I got jumped over that bad call at H3. Everyone was against me, bro. I didn't have not one single friend. They were all just doing that dirty politics on me. I get jumped over a bad call, but Brian had my back. He was right there in the mix. He's like, nah, Splinter didn't do that. I know for a fact he didn't do that. You guys cannot pursue this. You cannot push the issue. Let's send some kites out. Let's write some letters to the streets. Let's get to the bottom of this. I got Splinter's back, he said. He didn't do it. And I was like, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Someone need to have my back. I mean, they're doing the dirty politics on me, homeboy. Straight up, walking through the minefield. Boom, step on a booby track. Whoops, we're coming for you. Why? Politics. Hey, bro. Finally, Brian quit having my back. Because the dude who was pushing the issue, Mountain Bike Mike. Imagine having a guy named Mountain Bike Mike wanting to beat you up, homeboy. So the guy pushing the issue, Mountain Bike Mike, I got so sick of hearing his mouth. Him running his mouth about me. This and that, this and that. I got tired of hearing that, so I walked out and just, boom, punched him in the mouth. Cheap shot at him. I'm like, I'm going to end up getting my ass kicked at the end of the day. Because I just came to prison. I'm kicking Gadaga. I'm sick. This dude's been down 6 months. He's healthy. He's a porter. He's going to whip my ass. Let me at least get this one good punch in, though. Wham! And Brian, when Brian saw me do that, he said, okay, Splinter, I can't have your back anymore. I had your back, but when you go and cheap shot the dude who we're trying to get it all worked out with, I can't do nothing else. Hey, I was also with Brian in Fish Row, Wasco Reception, Building 4. Wasco Main Line. When you're in Wasco Reception, bro, and they endorse you to the main line, Wasco A Yard, or maybe level 1, the E Yard, they make you go to Fish Row, orientation. Anytime you go from a reception to a main line, you first have to go through orientation. Where they take you and just slam you in a cell for 10 days or 2 weeks, and you're stuck in there, homeboy, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, the Fish Row at Wasco Reception, they did allow us to walk to breakfast and dinner, which was cool. We got out a little bit. But it's crazy, bro. Just being slammed there, no books, no nothing. And me and Brian would be like, Mellow! It's like an inside joke between him and Ivy's watching. What's up, homeboy? Hey, Mellow! Brian's a solid-ass dude. Much love to him, homeboy. Now, the third dude, Daniel, one of the founding members of Blue Team, I do not know all that well, but I'll tell this story, and this story is a little bit gossipy. You know how Mean Dog, this one's a little bit more gossipy than the others. The others are kind of like straightforward, gangbanger style. This one got some gossip to it. So Daniel, bro, one of the founding members of Blue Team. I am at this people's house named Brooke and Bonnie. They had a dope house in Oildale. People are constantly just in and out. They're selling drugs. There's stolen cars there. That's where all the gangsters are. Not all of them. I mean, they're scattered about different houses, but lots of gangsters there, bro. And just druggies. It's in Oildale. People are just kicking up dust. But this happened to be like a slow night. It was like a dead night. Not a lot going on at Blake and Bonnie's house. And I'm loaded on Gadaga. And their living room was a trip. It was like split in half. Like half the living room was like lit up. You got like a couch and a chair here with a lamp. And it's kind of like lit up. This side of the living room, there's just a couch. And it's kind of like in the dark. You can't see much over there. There's no lamp. That's where I was sitting on this couch. Kind of like this, just chilling like in the dark. I'm sitting real still. No one can see me. I'm not doing that on purpose. I mean, I'm not trying to be incognito, but I was. That's just how it turned out. So anyway, Daniel, this room is hot schmott. We're going to talk about it in the live. This room's haunted. There's no way in November in Bakersfield this room should be 100 degrees in here. In no other room in my house do I sit in there and sweat, dude. This room is haunted. It's hot as physick in here. Look, I got foil and blankets and everything that's trying to block the heat. I don't even think the heat's coming from the window. It's coming from the bulbs. It can't be. I don't know what's going on, bro. Hey, dog. Hey. So, I'm incognito, right? Sitting in this freaking chair. Sue's here. Dog's going nuts. Soon not here, false alarm. A freaking squirrel ran by. My freaking dog's nut rolled. Okay, so trip out, bro. I'm incognito. Daniel's sitting over here on the couch and Casey comes over. Other founding member of Blue Team. And Daniel starts crying to Casey. Crying. I told you, little gossipy. He was crying. He's like, hey, dog, you never come by and see me no more. Now, dude, no shame on Daniel for crying. It's the drugs. I mean, dude, I've cried a grip, bro. If I'm kicking Gattaca, if I'm coming down off heroin, bro, I will cry. If I see a commercial with like a dog, I'm like, that puppy dog, cute little dog. Or if I'm kicking Gattaca, bro, and I'm driving, and I see like a I lost my dog poster on a light pole, or a mailbox, a poster says, I lost my dog, he looks like this, he's been gone. I'll be like, oh my God, I lost our dog. Poor little dog. If I'm kicking Gattaca, I'll cry and get all emotional, dude. What's even worse than that is if you're kicking meth. I hate meth. There's a really cool video on my Instagram page, if you go back a couple years, when I went to go visit GEG. I was taking the Amtrak like I always do. And I'm at the Amtrak station. And I look down, there's a big-ass bag of meth in my feet. I pick it up, and I record. I start recording right away. I don't pick it up, not yet. Recording like, look, guys, look at this big old bag of meth. And I open it up, and I dump it on the ground, and I step on it. I mean, I hate that shit, bro. But when I was in high school, I did it. Before I found Gattaca. Once you do Gattaca, once you do some black, bro, and you get itchy, scratchy, and get your knot on, you'll never want to mess with that meth garbage again. But back in the day, I would do meth in high school, and I'd be coming down, be up all night, the next day coming down, it'll make you cry, you get emotional. You'd be like, oh, Mommy doesn't care. Daddy wasn't there. Dude, you'd be crying and whining, homeboy. Even Jonathan Davis, in his song Daddy, he's singing that song and he cries at the end. Shut up, Jonathan. You're just coming down off that meth and getting all emotional, homeboy. So Daniel is sitting there crying to Casey. You never come by and get me. And Casey's like, nah, bro, it's good. I love you. I've just been busy doing this and that. I'm not trying to ignore you. I'm not trying to, go hit licks without you. He's like, I just feel like you never come see me. You never come around. And then at that point, I moved a little bit, like shift my foot, and they both saw me. And like, oh, and then he kind of stopped the sniffles. He realized someone else is there, bro. You know what I mean? Hey, but like a couple months later, I go to the farm, Kern County Jail. And when you go to the farm, the male minimum, the Kern County Jail, there's 22 barracks. There's a 900-man yard. It's this big-ass yard, and it's surrounded by 22 barracks. And in the morning, they open up all the barracks and kick everybody out so the porters can clean them. And when everybody hits that yard, all the woods meet up. The woods have our spot, especially the dudes who just got there that night. They show up at the yard. They represent. They're meeting the homeboys. What's up, brother? Hey, dog. It's like a reunion. When you get busted, hey, what's up, brother? I ain't seen you for a minute, homeboy. You're checking in with the homeboys. I just got here last night. You're seeing who's there. And I meet Daniel for the first time. I mean, I saw him that night when he was crying, but we didn't meet. So I'm like, hey, what's up, Splinter? He's like, hey, Daniel. All three of these dudes, Casey, Brian, and Daniel, have nicknames. I'm not using them. I don't want to put them on blast. I don't want to throw them out there. And they're more recognizable by their nicknames than their real names. I mean, Casey and Brian and Daniel could be anybody, homeboy. So anyway, I get on the yard. I meet Daniel, bro. Shake hands, meet. And we're sitting around this table, and he's like, looking at me. I'm not looking at him. I'm like looking over here, and I feel someone looking at me, and I look, and it's him staring at me. Then he catches me looking at him. He'll go away like this. So I'm like, what the heck? That dude keeps staring at me. And I look at him, he's staring at me, and he turns away. It was like a weird thing. He kept looking at me until I look at him, then he look away. He knew he recognized me. He didn't know where from. Then finally, he's like, hey, Splinter, I know you from somewhere. And I was like, yeah, I've seen you before. And he's like, wait a minute. He's like, you were there that night, huh? Like, what night? He goes, that night. I go, what do you mean? He goes, when I was crying. I go, yeah, bingo. That was me. He's like, dog, turned 3 shades of red. He's like, I was having a rough time. I said, dude, you don't got to explain nothing to me, bro. Crying's normal, especially when you're on that dizzed up dog. If you're feeling a little less than, like if your dog keep you on the shine. I understand. You don't got to explain nothing to me. Hey, one thing about Daniel, though, he's ready to fight right now. At the drop of a hat, he is ready to go, bro. Now. I mean, we all are, but he is really ready to fight. And the thing is, and this is no, I'm not taking a shot at him. I love that dude, bro. I think I like Daniel more than I like Casey and Brian. Daniel's a good dude. Really like him. He's ready to fight right now. It might be that short man complex. He's not even real short. Okay, I'm not short, I'm skinny. I'm 5'9", 180 pounds now. Back in the day, 160, 5'9", a little bit skinny, but they don't have skinny man complex. I just be like, fuck it. I'm slim and trim like a bicycle rim. But people like 5'5", 5'7" dudes, they get a little bit like, what, you think I'm a pussy because I'm short? Like, dude, seems like shorter dudes just want to fight quick. I mean, I'll be like, hey, man, tomorrow I got to go to court. He'll be like, what motherfucker said I'm short? I'm like, no, dude, tomorrow I got to go to court. He's like, oh, all right. And I'm like, yeah, man, tomorrow I got to go to the airport. What motherfucker, you said I'm short? No, tomorrow I got to go to the airport. Oh, okay. So, dude, it's like people who like just an inch or two shorter than the average Joe, dude, they want to fight like right now. Like, how dare you think just because they're a little bit shorter than the average bear, bro, they're not ready to fucking get them up. Fight right now, all where you at? Daniel, love his life, bro. Now, let me tell you this. Let me make a very distinction. Let me be very clear and upfront about this. Blue Team is a street gang. Not a prison gang at all. A street gang. Even though majority of their members have done prison time, it doesn't matter. It's not like a prerequisite, like you must go to prison to be Blue Team. No, I actually think the only prerequisite is you must have stolen a car. They're like a car theft ring, homeboy. I think you have to have stolen a car and have a GTA on your record to be Blue Team. Just guessing. I think I heard that. Hey, homeboy, it is a street gang. Why? Because there's only one Peckerwood prison gang that exists. Only one. And there could be no other. And who is that, guys? That's the Aryan Brotherhood. The only California white Peckerwood prison gang is the Aryan Brotherhood, and there's no other. And you cannot come along and be like, hey, I'm going to start up a gang called the Screams. The Scream. It's a prison gang. Dude, y'all get a green light on me so fast my head will spin. Bro, I'll get got. It'll be all bad.com. You cannot start prison gangs. There's only one prison gang, the Aryan Brotherhood. And they would have to green light any other gang. Someone would have to go to the Aryan Brotherhood and say, hey, I want to start a prison gang. And they'd have to green light it and say, okay. Which I don't see them doing ever, bro. So we need to make the distinction that Blue Team is a street gang. I have seen people get in trouble for starting gangs, and then people say it's a prison gang and they get in trouble. For instance, in Bakersfield, another gang was started up called Black Sox back in the day. It was Woods and it was skinheads from Bakersfield started a gang called Black Sox. The reason why Black Sox, because they said they wore black socks. They don't wear white, because if you wear white socks, you're walking on white. That's what they'd say. You're walking on white. But if you put black socks on, you're walking on black. And so they're Black Sox, homeboy. No, these guys are actually walking on eggshells. Because the word got out, they considered themselves a prison gang. And they got green lighted by the Aryan Brotherhood, homeboy. I was in Wasco Reception A5. All kinds of drama going on. We were at war with the blacks, almost getting into riots every single day. Dude, one of the homeboys that took off on a cop, we were beating each other up, bro. People getting removed daily. It was on and cracking. And I had a good friend in there with me. And he's like, dude, I just want to get out of here, Splinter. He's like, I got shit going on out there. I got like child custody. You know, my dad's real sick. He's like, I just feel like I'm not going to ever make it out of here. I need to get out of here bad. He had like 2 days of the house, 3 days of the house. He said, Splinter, I just want to get out of here, bro. I feel like something's going to happen. I'm either going to lose my life or I'm going to take someone's life and never make it home. It's like on 3 days of the house, I just want to get out of here so bad. I just want to go home, bro. I go, okay, don't say that too loud. You kind of sound like a puss, homeboy. Keep that to yourself. You know, don't do the crime if you don't want to do the time. Shh, keep that down, bro. You sound a little soft. Okay, I feel you. You want out? You want out? Snurf, snurf. I got to get out of here, Splinter. 3 days left. I can't wait to go. Finally, he went home. And that night, we got a kite from the hole. And it said, make that dude report to the hole because he's claiming Black Sox. And we need him to renounce that. Hey, homeboy, if he would have had to report to the hole, he would have never gone home. It would have been all bad. You can't just get to D6, the hole, walk reception. Very difficult to do. See here? It's very hard. It used to be back in the day, get caught with a batch of Pruno, maybe do a 2-on-1, roll you up, send you to the hole. Now, no. You do a 2-on-1, right back to your cell. Get caught with Pruno, right back to your cell. Very hard to go to the hole, bro. D6, Wasco Reception. They make your report there, you almost have to take off on a cop, man. You have to do some serious shit to go. But hey, they called that dude back there to renounce the Black Sox, and we would have had to go to him and say, hey, dude, the hole wants your presence. You have 3 days to report. He'd have been like, gulp, super big gulp, but I'm going home, dog. No, you're not now, homeboy, because you said you're a prison gang. Hey, bro, shout out to Blue Team. They're a street gang, you know what I mean? Hey, they're so influential that once a Blue Team came out and everyone's going around, Blue Team go, Blue Team fool, then what do you think happened? Spin-offs start happening. Next thing you know, you had Red Team. Red Team were the skinheads. Blue Team were the Peckerwoods. Red Team were the skinheads. Then you had Pink Team. Pink team started up. Those are the girls, homeboy. So blue team Woods, red team Skinheads, pink team girls. Then some of my homeboys from my neighborhood, Rex and Acres, one of them got at me and said, "Hey, Splinter, we're starting up orange team." And I said, "Charlie Holmes, no you're not. No you're not. Dude, we're not bandwagoners. We don't just freaking follow. Just because they got blue team, red team, pink team, and it seems to be the going thing, we're not going to be like, yeah, us too. Orange team on ours." That's like, no, homeboy, we're Rex and Peckerwoods, dog. Straight up represent to the fullest. So with that being said, I'm going to cut the string and let it go, homeboy. Cut the string and let it fly. Peace.